Hi guys. I thought it would be a little bit fun to do something a little bit more casual, and I just wanted to talk about some new makeup that was on my wish list because I did try filming a what's new in beauty video before, and I feel like those are they can be interesting sometimes, and other times I just don't really care about the product that's launching. So I thought I would talk about some newer stuff that's on my wish list right now. Just basically newer beauty launches that are catered to my tastes. And maybe your taste too, if we're similar. So the first thing on my wish list, oh my gosh, these Risky Beauty blushes. Stop. The tones of these just look so freaking beautiful, and I really don't need another cream blush. But I really want to try more Asian formulas when it comes to cream blushes because I think I have, honestly, they're so old at this point, but I have these Misha cream blush sticks that I've never seen anybody talk about online. I don't even know if they make them anymore. And then I have an Apu Jelly Pang blusher, which is really similar to the MAC Glow Play formula, but that's not really like a cream blush to me. I think these blushes just look so freaking stunning. I can't pick which one I like because honestly, all of these look so good. And I believe Risky Beauty is now carried in Olive Young, so if I do go to Korea this year, and hopefully they'll have them in the Olive Youngs somewhere, hopefully I can swatch them in person because that'll probably help narrow down my decision. They don't have any swatches of the blushes yet, but just based on the promo photos, I'm already foaming at the mouth like a feral creature. Risky Beauty has been on my to try list for ever since they opened, which is not that long ago. They opened in 2024. I was so close to purchasing from them when they first opened their store because they were having I think a 20 or 30% off, but I just didn't want to bother my uncle with that, so I didn't. But ever since then, I've just been so curious about their products. They look so fun, especially for a K-beauty brand. They're so cool girl alternative, especially, and I know I've talked about their really interesting range of colors for especially their lip products on here before. So yeah, I really want to try their cream blushes though. They look so good. And while we're on the topic of cream blushes, I just recommended a Lee Member Cheek and Lip Red Wine blush because, again, this is so similar to the Risky Beauty blushes, and I've legitimately had these in my cart two separate times on YesStyle, and I just haven't pulled the trigger on them because I don't need any more cream blush. And I actually have a couple cream blushes I do need to get rid of because they've gone bad. They're both Phytosurgents, by the way. They're so beautiful. I really love the tones of the Phytosurgent blushes, but they're so humongous, and they're not the only blushes that I use, so I don't want to complain about that too much because that's a wonderful problem to have, right? But I just feel I think if I want to get cream blushes, I just need a little less product. And these look like the perfect hint of color too. I really love how subtle these are. I've really been wanting to try blushes that are just a little bit more on the lighter side recently because I don't know, I feel whenever I put on my blushes, I don't know why, I feel my blush looks the same in all my photos, and I'm just what's going on? And I know part of it is I could probably afford to go a little bit more heavy-handed with it, but I just don't know when to stop is my problem. But anyway, I just think the tones and the colors of these look so pretty. I will say the photos, they look a little bit more dewy than my preference, but I still want to try one eventually. Next, I wanted to talk about two Bella Beauté bar palettes. The first one is the Yin and Yang palette, which is their collaboration with Freya, and I love Freya's style so much. Her style and aesthetic of makeup is just the complete opposite of mine, and I just really enjoy her wide range of looks that she does. It's so tasteful and beautiful and just so unique, and I just love her facial structure so much, as weird as that is to say. She just has such a vision and a style that is so unique. My only hesitancy with this is that I feel I just don't do a ton of grungy eyeshadow looks, and I really think this is the all-in-one kind of inclusive palette of cool tones. But I also really love the Bella Beauté bar formula, so I trust the quality of the shadows. I just don't know, I don't know, I'm really torn on the fence, and I have really loved all of the collaboration palettes that Freya has done. I have two of them, and I think they're so awesome, and I just feel every collaboration she does is just oh, so cool. So freaking cool. So the Yin and Yang palette is obviously no exception to that. The other collaboration palette is the Pinky Promise with Deandra Nicole, who I also adore so much, and It's so funny because when I put together my build your own palettes, like I realized I don't own that many pink matte eyeshadows. Like I have some, but they're not like pink, and this is a pink palette. I also really enjoyed the look of Ultraviolence, which is Ultraviolet, which is also the purple like monochromatic palette that Deandra did as well. But Bella Beauté Bar purples are very hit or miss on me, and as much as I love the purple version, like I just like can't bring myself to buy it if I don't know how the purples are going to perform on me. So the fact that she came out with a pink version, I'm like, okay, I'm sad. And typically for monochromatic palettes, I don't like really big palette, and it's not like this is a humongous palette, but I typically prefer like smaller not pan sizes, but like what am I trying to say? Like the amount of eyeshadow in it, like I would prefer like a 9 pan. However, like the range and variety of pinks in this palette, I'm okay with. And like I said, I trust the Bella Beauté Bar formula a lot, and I haven't had any problems with their pink shadows. I feel I'm willing to make an exception for my preferences on this, and I really, really want to try it sometime. I just don't know when I'm going to be able to do that. I have not purchased from Blend Bunny in quite some time. They were one of my first like indie brands that I got into back in like 2020, 2021-ish, because I saw Surge and I was like, need that immediately. And I do have the original blends, but the thing I'm torn on is that I really love the updated blends, but it looks so like big and bulky compared to the OG, which like I think is understandable because it's part of their like masterclass series, so it's more of like a professional kind of workhorse palette. So it does make sense to me that it's so much bigger. I just don't feel 100% sold on it. I think the other thing is I know that Blend Bunny shimmers have improved so much over the years, but I feel like this palette doesn't really need shimmers, just for my own personal taste. Again, they look very pretty. It's just not something that I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what Blends was missing. But I also like at the same time enjoy their inclusion in it. So like I said, I'm just like very torn on it. I don't need to re-up on Blends anytime soon, but I do think the update for it is so pretty, and maybe something I would pick up in the future if I ever finish up blends. And I love that it's magnetic. I really love that Blend Bunny is doing magnetic palettes now. The other Blend Bunny product that has really caught my eye is the Psilocybin Cheek palette. Oh my god. The Masterclass Structure palette. I don't really care much for like entire face palettes, but something about the Masterclass one is just so beautiful. I don't know, like the tones of it just look so gorgeous, and truly like all that you need for like a contour bronzer moment is in this palette, and I really love that. I also wanted to mention the Psilocybin Cheek palette because the blushes, they're so pretty. I don't have exact blushes in those like exact colors, and the highlighters are also look very unique to me. I definitely have those like blush colors in eyeshadows, but I have to be honest, there's something about like using eyeshadow as blush that I just don't love. I feel like the pan sizes are generally just like a little bit too small, and I just feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. I'm not saying that you can't substitute eyeshadow for blush, because you absolutely can. I feel like I can't get that method to work for some reason, and I would just prefer to use my eyeshadow as my eyeshadow and my blush as my blush. But the other thing I wanted to say about the Structure palette is like it's one of the few times I've seen a face palette where I thought it was so beautiful and like actually like enjoyed the look of it. So I don't know, I don't really need either one of these, but I just think they're stunning. I took a pit stop to Ulta recently and I got to swatch these About Face cooling chromes because I almost bought these a couple times as well because there's a really good discount on TikTok Shop, and now I kind of regret not getting them, but at the same time I don't, because I got to swatch 3 of them. I swatched Dove's Cry, Chasing Waterfalls, and Doll Parts. Let me just say, Doll Parts and Chasing Waterfalls are the ones that I was like, well, no, actually it was more specifically Chasing Waterfalls. That was the one I was like, I'm definitely gonna buy this, and then I didn't. Doll Parts and Chasing Waterfalls in store, the testers were so crumbly, so I don't know what happened to them, and I also don't know like how fresh the testers were, because when I went to go swatch Dove's Cry, that was completely untouched. I was like, oh, this is like a fresh product, and I've never got to test like a fresh product like that before, so I was like, oh my gosh. I will say Dove's Cry was definitely like the weakest of the bunch, but like at the same time I feel like it was like the easiest to work with, because Chasing Waterfalls is so pretty, and I don't have like a silver highlighter like that, but I also, it's so pigmented And same with doll parts, where it's like, doll parts to me would be like a shimmery blush. And again, I don't know if it's just because both of those were crumbled. They were just like so pigmented that I'm like, I can't really imagine doing, I mean, I'm sure you could like use a brush and then apply it to the cheek to get a more diffused, softer look. But like just doing the swatch on the back of my hand, I was like, whoa, Nelly, like this is some pigmented stuff. They didn't honestly feel that cooling from what I remember, which is fine. I don't really care about that aspect. In like my jelly face products, whatever. I was very intrigued by them, and I do eventually want to get them, especially because like, but I don't know, at the same time, like they're not like a complete need right now. Makeup is never a need, but I don't know. I don't want to buy them just yet, but I do want to get them eventually, I think, because they're so pretty. And while we're on the topic of highlighter yet again, the Cheery Up Pillow Gem Highlighter. Look at it. Like, it's so beautiful. It's so funny because I always talk about like eyeshadow being my first love when it comes to makeup. Oh, got some insane fallout. The Vice grip that highlighter has had on me since like 2017, it needs to be studied because I also love highlighter so freaking much. Like, it's really one of my favorite makeup products as well. But the thing is, like, I don't know why I'm really drawn to like the pinky icy one, even though I don't want to say I don't like pinky highlighters. I just don't wear them as much, like pinky icy ones, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just don't really wear them that much. And maybe it's because I don't own that many. But I don't know. I just really, really like the look of this. Like, the packaging is so stunning. I love just look at how elegant it is. I don't know. Like, it just looks like it would be such a, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it just looks like it would be so fun to use every day. And like the sheen of it just looks so stunning. I'm not usually one for like I don't want to say satin, but like I love a glittery highlighter. So like this just looks so smooth and not glittery. And I'm like, oh my God, I kind of need it. But it has me frothing at the mouth like a crazed beast. Like, it's so pretty. The only thing, and even though I'm like waxing poetics about the packaging, I will say it's like a scotch bulky, but I feel like, again, I might make an exception for this because I just love how it looks so much. It's beautiful. And then I think the last thing on my wish list right now is, I don't even know why this is on my wish list. It's this Bia O powder packed in cool blue. I don't know why I need a blue setting powder, but it just looks so cool and I just can't take it out of my wish list for some reason. I don't know if it's like I just want to try like the opposite of like a pink setting powder, and I'm like, what would the effect of a blue setting powder be? And again, could I theoretically use an eyeshadow for it? Yeah, but at the same time, no, because my eyeshadows are pretty pigmented. I just don't think it would be the same effect as this setting powder, but it's just like occupying a space in my mind. And these aren't things that I'm gonna like rush out to buy by any means, but it's just stuff that I'm like thinking about. I might add to this a little later, but at this current moment in time, I don't want to yet. I also did want to talk about this look a little bit because, oh my gosh, this is like my favorite look I've done in so long. Like, I feel like myself, truly. And I actually did it using my Build Your Own palette. Oh, that I finally posted on YouTube. You should go see that. It's such a fun journey talking about this. But, oh, love this eyeshadow look so much, which is also why I was like, I need to sit down and film immediately because this just looks so amazing. And I almost filmed a tutorial for this and then I didn't. I just did like a short form video and not like a long sit down kind of one because I just didn't feel like talking anymore after I built this palette. I was like, I've been talking for 30 minutes and I just need to give my mouth a break, and especially because my medication dries my mouth out a little bit and I don't like that at all. I don't. It makes me so tired. Yeah, let me know what's on your wish list or what kind of items you're eyeing at the moment. I would love to know if you've tried any of these or if these are also on your wish list. I feel like it'd be kind of fun to talk about like a running wish list because I feel like it's fun to see like how certain products go in and out of your wish list. And I feel like just having them like, because I like to look at my YesStyle wish list every now and then just to kind of see like if certain things are still available or if I still want them. And being able to kind of talk about like why I want something and why I'm not gonna get it or might get it, I don't know, is like interesting and kind of fun. And you can kind of deconstruct like, why do I want this? But anyway, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!